In case you guys are curious, no, I did not get the popcorn bucket, and yes, I will regret it for the rest of time. Dune Part 2 is, if you couldn't tell, the second part of Denis Villeneuve's epic adaptation of the Frank Herbert sci-fi novel. If you haven't checked out my bucket list video on the 84 film or my quick review of Part 1, definitely check them out. But, long story short, I enjoyed the 84 film for what it was. It was very messy and muddled, but when it leaned into the insane lynchness of it, I thought it was pretty fun. Dune Part 1 was a solid first half of a movie, which I'm thankful the movie stressed that it was Part 1, because while it did a good job setting up its world and its characters, that's all it was, setup. Still very interesting and visually impressive setup, but you still leave feeling kind of incomplete. With all this in mind, there was a lot riding on Dune Part 2 leading up to its release. Not just having to be a satisfying follow-up to the first, but also having to save cinema. And did it achieve those goals? Well, the latter is yet to be determined, but in terms of the former, absolutely. Not only does it manage to top the first film, but it's an easy contender for top 5 of the year. I saw this with my friend Mendy, or Delusional Daniel, and he said how amazing it was that we're living in an age where large-scale spectacles like Dune and Avatar are dominating. And to an extent, I agree. Only where Avatar nails the visual spectacle and nothing else, Dune excels at being a visual marvel while also having an intriguing story and compelling characters. I like seeing in this one Paul assume the chosen one role, and I like that they don't really make it clear if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, yeah, he defeated the Harkonnens and gained control of Arrakis, but not only do they hint at some doomed future that is destined to happen if he takes on the position of Messiah, but the further along Paul gets, the more intense and unhinged he is. It offers an interesting commentary on religious fanaticism, and I'd be curious to see how it gets developed on in a third movie. The villains are still kind of stock, with the exception of Austin Butler as Fade Routha, who is awesome. That grayscale arena battle scene looked amazing. The visuals in general were just incredible. Several poster shots, very good looking VFX, and several exciting action set pieces. The first time Paul rides the worm, I couldn't stop grinning. The score is of course great. The film goes at a surprisingly good pace despite being almost 3 hours long. There are some slower moments for sure, but nothing ever dragged or felt boring. By the end, I was genuinely speechless. Like, I figured the movie would be good, but I wasn't expecting to be as blown away as I was. Does it have problems? Sure, but they are extremely minimal. This is an easy must-watch in theaters on a premium screen. 4.5 out of 5.